Trapped amidst a raging wildfire, the acrid smoke-clad sky reflected in his eyes, John faced certain doom, until the once helpless lioness he saved emerged, leading her pride through the chaos. Her golden gaze promised salvation. But what happened next will shock even those who thought they'd seen everything. First, let's rewind. The midday sun beat down mercilessly, casting long shadows over the savannah, where the golden grasses swayed in rhythm with the soft, whispering breeze. The air was thick with anticipation, as if nature itself held its breath in deference to the unfolding scene. John, his heart pounding a steady beat of resolve, navigated his vehicle through the rugged terrain that led to the outskirts of the wildlife reserve. With each bump and jolt, his mind replayed the grim echoes of a failure long past, a memory that fueled his determination and propelled him forward with a singular focus: redemption. The call had come in abruptly, breaking the usual monotony of reports about the reserve. A lioness, heavily pregnant and ensnared in a cruel tangle of barbed wire, fought against confinement with dwindling strength. At the scene, a solemn silence hung in the air, punctuated only by the concerned murmurs of onlookers. John surveyed the distressing sight before him. The lioness, a creature of majesty reduced to vulnerability, her amber eyes clouded with a mix of fear and fatigue. John's team, seasoned members of the conservation unit, exchanged glances, a silent exchange rooted in the shared knowledge of the inherent dangers. Yet, as they awaited instructions, it was John's unwavering gaze that set the tone, a steely, compassionate resolve that brooked no argument. Here was a man acutely aware that every passing minute mattered. Every second was a precious gift of borrowed time. With steady hands, John approached the immobilized predator, each step measured and deliberate. The lioness's muscles tensed at his proximity, the primal instinct to fight or flee at odds with her incapacitation. John knelt beside her, the sulphurous tang of sweat mixing with the earthy aroma of sun-baked grass. His voice, a soothing balm of calm, reached out to the distraught animal as he whispered reassurances, words not of any known tongue but of a universal language of empathy. His tools, an extension of his will, glinted sharply in the sunlight as they expertly severed the remorseless metal that bound her. Each clipped wire brought a surge of hope, the tension easing incrementally, a tangible measure of liberation. Yet it also heightened the danger, for any miscalculation could incite panic or aggression. Moments stretched like elastic as John worked, his focus a tightrope walk between precision and compassion. Finally, with one last careful maneuver, the lioness was free, her massive body shuddering with a mix of trepidation and relief. The audience of foreboding eyes watched as John retreated a respectful distance, maintaining an aura of calm while the lioness slowly rose, her form a testament to resilience and grace reclaimed. As she staggered to her feet, a profound stillness enveloped the space between them. In that charged, silent exchange, an unspoken bond formed, a mutual recognition bound not by fear, but by an unyielding respect for life's precarious balance. It was a moment witnessed by the elements of sky and earth alike, leaving an indelible mark on the tapestry of nature's raw beauty. Owen's heart pounded with a mixture of exhilaration and reverence as he crouched beside the majestic lioness. In this serene bubble of time, the world receded, leaving only the vital task before him and the silent observer at his side, a majestic creature who moments before had been ensnared by the cruel embrace of barbed wire. Her breathing, though strained before, now carried a soothing rhythm, a sign of relief that flowed over both her formidable frame and John's anxious spirit. With gentle precision, John cleaned the lacerations on her tawny flank, his hands moving deftly yet tenderly across the wounded areas. Each swipe of the antiseptic-soaked cloth was more than a medical procedure. It was an act that spoke to the respect and duty he felt toward all living beings. The lioness's eyes, initially clouded with wariness and pain, softened into an expression of profound exhaustion, imbued with what seemed like silent gratitude. The onlookers, a mix of seasoned rangers and curious tourists, watched in spellbound silence, their breath collectively held as if they too were partners in this delicate dance. This creature, a manifestation of nature's untamed beauty, exhibited vulnerability that resonated deeply, shattering preconceived notions of the invincible predator's place in the world. The lioness's stillness, her acceptance of John's care, whispered of an unspoken understanding, a crossing of the oft impenetrable divide between humankind and the wild. As John worked, he spoke softly, the soothing timbre of his voice a balm as effective as the medicine he applied. Words of comfort flowed like a gentle stream, neither for the lioness's comprehension nor his own peace of mind, but rather as a bridge between their disparate worlds. The air around them grew thick with a palpable bond, a tapestry woven of mutual respect and cautious trust. Once the final bandage was secured, John drew back, allowing the grandeur of the moment to wash over him, a moment that seemed to suspend the very passage of time. The lioness stirred, her movements slow with fatigue, yet imbued with renewed spirit. She rose, every sinew gliding beneath her sleek coat like silk. Those gathered watched in astonishment as the lioness, rather than vanish into the wilderness, lingered, her golden eyes fixed intently on John. In their depths lay a promise as ancient as the earth itself, a vow of remembrance, of kinship forged in compassion and necessity. This unexpected epilogue to their encounter did not go unnoticed. As the lioness retreated to the fringe of the terrain, she did so only as far as to meld with the golden hues of the savanna while keeping John within her gaze. A silent guardian, her watchfulness a testament to the bond forged not in words, but in action. In that sacred space between them lay a profound seed of hope, an acknowledgement that in the vast tapestry of life, even the wildest hearts could recognize the hand that dared to reach out and heal. The sun climbed steadily above the expansive horizon, casting a warm golden hue over the undulating savannas of the wildlife reserve. As the days rolled on, John became somewhat of a local legend. His deed whispered among the rustling acacias and echoed through the weather-worn paths of the park's avid visitors. His brave act of freeing the lioness from her dire predicament had not just saved a life, but inadvertently sparked a narrative that rippled beyond the boundaries of the reserve. Wildlife enthusiasts marveled at his courage. Journalists sought interviews, and academics pondered the implications of such a profound human-animal connection. Each retelling of the story seemed to magnify John's quiet heroism, forging an invisible thread of kinship between man and nature, a testament to the powerful ecology of life-saving intervention. Despite the burgeoning fame, John remained true to his grounding duties. His routine inspections of the park's wildlife served as both a labor of love and a welcomed refuge from the unexpected spotlight. Each inspection was methodical. He noted the population's health, checked water points, and assured the safety of vulnerable habitats. Yet, threading through his mind like gentle whispers was the lioness and her penetrating gaze, a gaze that seemed to root itself in his consciousness, revealing the depths of understanding beyond language. The day broke like any other until the faint scent of smoke woven through the air hinted at an impending danger. Within moments, the faint aroma unfurled into a living nightmare. A wildfire had sparked, its fiery tendrils reaching hungrily across the dry terrain. It moved with a terrible swiftness, fanned by unpredictable winds that roared like a beast unleashed from the ancient earth. John found himself amidst a growing panic, the sporadic cries of alarm weaving through the acrid smoke that began to engulf the sky. Tourists, previously absorbed by nature's serene beauty, now clung to fear, their faces painted with the stark realization of their precarious predicament. The world around John seemed to splinter into fragments of urgency and chaos. Adrenaline shot through his being as he rallied the group, his mind racing for a semblance of a plan, a path to salvation from the encroaching inferno that loomed eerily closer with each breath. Amidst this tempest, just when hope seemed to wane, the miraculous happened. Out of the obscuring haze, a figure materialized. The Lioness. Noble and unscathed, she emerged through the billowing smoke, her presence commanding attention. A regal centerpiece in this unfolding tableau of survival. Her pride flanked her, an assembly of strength and grace answering some primal call to fellowship. Guided by instincts honed over millennia, she moved with unwavering purpose, directing John and the terrified onlookers away from despair and towards salvation. There was no hesitance in her lead, no pause or flicker of uncertainty. John, following her without question, felt a swell of profound trust overcoming him. Through paths birthed of the earth and known only to its wild inhabitants, the Lioness carved a route toward safety, each step a testament to the inexplicable bond forged in the crucible of life and danger. In that moment, judgment and instinct were suspended, leaving room only for the raw, unyielding truth of survival. A shared journey between the most unlikely of allies. In the immediate aftermath of their miraculous escape, the breadth of the experience began to unravel its impact on John and the group of survivors. Relief was palpable, yet it was lined with an awe-struck silence, the kind that follows events too grand and mystical for ordinary words. This was more than a mere act of nature. It was a testament to bonds forged in the crucible of crisis and compassion. The Lioness, with her regal poise, had transcended the boundaries of instinct and the wild law of survival. In those perilous moments, something profound occurred, etching itself into the hearts and minds of those who witnessed it. John stood amongst the others, his clothes marked by soot and exertion, but his spirit alight with a rejuvenating clarity. In the Lioness's amber eyes, he had glimpsed an intelligence, perhaps even a wisdom, that spoke of an understanding deeper than he had dared to imagine. It dawned on him gradually, as the events replayed in his mind with the surreal slowness of a dream. The Lioness had returned his act of kindness with a courage and fidelity that went beyond the realm of nature's expectations. The depth of their connection, established silently amidst the chaos of an earlier rescue, now revealed itself as a narrative of intricate and mutual reverence. This unexpected alliance reverberated far beyond the confines of the wildlife reserve. News of their ordeal and the Lioness's uncharacteristic intervention spread rapidly, amplified by a world hungry for stories of hope and unity against all odds. Suddenly, John found himself at the heart of an extraordinary tale celebrated in headlines and heartfelt posts across the globe. People saw in him and the Lioness a metaphor for the small yet profound possibilities of harmony, a reminder that even the wildest and most untamed facets of the world were not beyond the reach of empathy and understanding. John embraced this newfound attention, not with pride or vanity, but with humble appreciation for the insight it offered. It became a pivotal reminder that his work extended far beyond the physical healing of animals. It was about nurturing the invisible links that tethered humans and wildlife in a shared existence. This bond with the Lioness revitalized his mission, guiding him with a renewed passion and commitment to stewardship and conservation. In the quiet moments when the wilderness settled into its rhythmic cadence, John would sometimes catch a fleeting glance of the Lioness, a silhouette at the edge of the horizon. Though separated by their respective worlds, each sighting was a silent acknowledgement of an everlasting connection, one that transcended the spoken word. Through her resilient presence,
the Lioness reaffirmed the extraordinary nature of their shared journey, a journey that would forever inspire those who heard of it, reminding them of the power and grace inherent in acts of saving and being saved.